the fans would be bored
But
too.
there's the difference between you as a rock legion and other rock legion bands. You have different styles during the show. You have like the Dog or like
Dream On,
song, Dream On.
We get funny things. We get people write into our website and to emails and things, and you get somebody's favourite track is something like Hollis Brown, which is and then somebody else writes in, oh, my favourite song ever was Holy Roller, which is almost like a country song, and people have got their own favourites, you know, and that's good. I mean, you're pleasing a lot of different people, you know.
Yeah, and the other thing is as well, it stops us getting bored if we do different forms of music, you know. I mean, it's all rock based anyway, but I mean, it's, you know, if you do, like, we had an album called Loud and Proud, you know, and we don't want to do Son of Loud and Proud. You know what I'm saying? It would be a bit odd. You know, you start to sound like a band that only knows to play one way, you know, which is a bit
You used to get this a lot from the record company. See, that last album was great. You do one just like that again. Well,
why?
That's done. Let's do something else then, you know. I mean, not ridiculously different.
Oh no, you don't change into a samba band. I don't mean that, but you know, but you do. You do want to. But I think every band, if they want to stay together and they want to work, has to evolve. You know, you have to move on. You have to evolve and go somewhere else. You know, I don't mean go the other side of the planet, but you know, you have to evolve a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
When we're talking about time, good times and bad times, for myself and for many rock bands or metal bands, the late 80s and 90s were a very hard time, very difficult.
Yeah.
How was it to see it in the eyes of the whole band during that time?
Well, what we decided was that we still recorded and we still toured, but touring kept us alive because we couldn't get arrested on the radio. I mean, we just couldn't get arrested because it was all dance and disco and whatever, you know. And but then in the 90s, Guns N' Roses came along and covered a couple of our songs, and it was like, you know, young people were going, oh, we like rock and roll. They covered a Nazareth song. What's Nazareth like? So that definitely helped.
And guitar bands came back in the 90s. In the mid-90s, you had people like Oasis, I mean, who were a big hit, but there was guitar, you know, it was guitar. It wasn't all that. In the 80s, there was all that, what did they call it, the new romantic, or whatever they called that stuff.
There was lots of different things, dance.
I just thought it was awful. It
was a kind of MTV generation. You had to look good. It didn't really matter much about the music, but you had to look great. You know?
If you survive that, and people like, well, ourselves, Uriah Heep, Moorhead, they couldn't care.
Deep Purple.
Deep Purple, they just kept going. Just doing, well, they weren't then, but they had Rainbow, they were the same kind of thing. And you know, they had, and if you just, and we just say, we stayed alive by playing live, doing concerts, because everybody always still wanted to come to concerts, but you couldn't, as Dan said earlier on, you couldn't get any radio play, so there was no way you were going to get any kind of a hit. You know, but we keep playing live and people get buying the records, so yeah, we're still here. And it's 2011.
When you're talking about it, you see yourself, you're still here. Where do you see Nazareth today? You play many shows, you play around.
Well, I think we're a hard-working band, basically, but there's less pressure, I find now, because I mean, whatever critics think or that, I really don't give a shit. Yeah, I really don't care what they think. As long as the people keep showing up, that's all I care about. You know, because they're the ones that kept us going. So, well, you know, some guy in the record mirror doesn't impress me.
You know, I think it's quite hilarious and quite funny because some of the reviews you got from people who just absolutely hated anything to do with you because you were there, you know. And this is back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. They don't work for rock magazines anymore, they work in a supermarket, you know. I'm still in the rock band, and we're still playing.
And I think that's a good idea.
No, the thing is, the bottom line is you have to appear to know what you're doing, you know what I mean, and enjoy what you're doing. And then you just deal with it, you know, whatever comes along you deal with it, you know, on a daily basis. You don't worry about, you know, some guy in classic rock or, you know, Rolling Stone thinks about you, you know. I don't really care what he thinks about me anyway.
As we always used to say to all the young bands, when they get reviews, well, you know, the reviews, we say if you get a good review, the guy's a real nice guy. If you got a bad review, he's an idiot.
That's the thing why I was reading around about big dogs like that. You got good and bad remarks. And it was, for myself, it was a good album, very good album. It was different to the other, as you told us before. It was different.
You always get that. It doesn't matter. Even if you have even the biggest hit albums. Well, I mean, the best example of all that kind of thing is Black Sabbath, as you talked about earlier. Now, the critics used to slag them to death.
Terrible,
oh
time.
Man, they were awful, they were terrible, they were a bunch of monkeys done around. They sold 100 million records. You know, so who's right?
You know, if I wanted to get a Black Sabbath ticket in Britain, I had to phone one of the band, you know, because, you know, they were so unpopular.
The critics have got nothing to do with the people. And a lot of the times, I'm glad to say, when people read reviews, and if they already like them and they think, right, nah, I'm going to hear it, and I'm going to listen to it, and I'll make my own mind up, you know. When I read a review about a record, and there's people that I like, and somebody gives them a bad review, I think, well, wait a minute, you know, I want to hear that, you know. I hear it and I thought, I think that's great, you know, so I don't care what some jackass said, you know.
I think that's good to hear from a musician fan that he is saying, okay, I read it, but you know, I'm making my own mind up. I was talking to you before when I was 6 years old. My first contact with Rock and Metal Bird, your band, with This Flight Tonight. I was jumping around with a tennis racket in my bedroom and rocking.
We all did that.
However, I read that this song is not exactly from yourself. Is that correct?
No, it's from
a indie band, I guess.
No, it's Johnny Mitchell.
Yeah.
She's a California.
It sounds nothing like.
Oh no, her version's it's very girly. I mean, she's a girly.
It's an acoustic guitar and her singing, but we just like the song. I thought we could walk that thing up, you know. And we let Joni Mitchell hear it, and she couldn't believe it when she heard with Nazareth, and she went like, "This Flight Tonight, a Joni Mitchell song with a rock band," and we went, "Yeah," you know. And it was, and she loved it.
Nobody knows her. Everybody knows This Flight Tonight is for everybody, is not for her.
She was very, very, for people who were into music at the time, she was very, very big singer-songwriter thing, you know, and she wrote loads of good songs, you know, but that was the one that we thought we could do something with that, you know, and the thing is, when we cover songs, we do cover songs. Love Hurts was a cover song, you know, and when we cover a song, what we basically do is like, we've got to be able to make it ours. You know, you don't want to cover it and make it sound like, you know, if somebody plays a song and you think, oh, we'll cover that, and people do this and it sounds pretty much like the same thing they did. What's the point, you know? The point of doing it is to make it Nazareth, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what we do. If we can't really change the thing totally, then we don't do it, you know?
Have you ever heard one of your songs as a cover? Which one is your, if you can say, which one is your favorite?
I think Guns N' Roses' Hair of the Dog. It's my favourite.
But I'll tell you a couple that was really, really good. We did a place called Place in My Heart. It's a kind of, we were doing a spoof on a country song, taking a piss basically. And we came to a gas station in Germany. One time we were touring with, what's this, Place in Your Heart? And there was this German band, all dressed like country guys, you know, we had to singing Place in Your Heart in German and being really serious about it. And we just about peed ourselves laughing. But the best one was like, Dan and I were in Japan, in Tokyo, and we got into the elevator in the hotel, and we're going up in the elevator, and you know how they have the music, the elevator music, you know. I'm going up that thing. I recognise that. And what it was, we do a song called Bad Bad Boy. And it's I'm a bad bad boy. I'm a bad. Well, this was Bad Bad Boy, sung in Japanese by a girl. No, so we went, this is fantastic. We've got to get a copy of
Can you
this.
get it though?
You know,
We could never get a hold of it. No.
it was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Some wee Japanese girl going, ding,
I guess it would be a good idea.
oh, it was hilarious and funny,
It was
man.
great.
And the auntie be there, we were standing in the elevator going,
We,
and we both clocked it at the same time.
that's,
It was fucking bad boy.
we were out at the reception going, can we get a copy of this? Because we were going to play it as a pre-show tape, before we go on stage.
Especially in Japan, would be great. But no, they were all denying all knowledge of it. No, you don't know anything about it, no. Okay.
So time is running, and we are at the end. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
And the last words are for you.
No, listen, just to all our fans around, thanks for hanging in there with us, and you know, we'll be trying to please you every time we go in the studio and every time we hit the stage. Peace and love.
Yeah. We enjoy doing it as long as everybody enjoys listening to it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, when the people stop coming, we'll retire.
Well, it's written out.
But while they keep coming, we'll keep coming back as well.
So we hope this will be for many years from now.
hope so.
I hope so. So thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Robert, thank you.
Thank you.